So what's going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another zombies video on the channel, where today we are back with a Q&A, the series where I take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and I answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, a like rating would be appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel, but let's get into it. Here we go. Enjoy. So the first question of the day is from Orlando, and you say, why is Samantha's teddy bear all around in Call of Duty Zombies maps? So starting off, the classic teddy bear in Call of Duty has been around since pretty much the very beginning. We all know what this is by now, and it's not only in COD, there seems to be teddies and other stuffed animals in a lot of games, but specific to not only zombies but Call of Duty in general. The teddy bear, I believe, is in almost every game. The first time we saw this was in Call of Duty Finest Hour. If I'm not wrong in saying, isn't this the second Call of Duty? I know the first one was just called Call of Duty and it was on the PC. However, you could get this one on the PS2, but it isn't called Call of Duty 2. It was one of the very first ones to come out anyway. And then we also saw the teddy bear on COD 2, this is it right here. The next time we saw it after that was on COD 4, so it missed out Call of Duty 3, which was Treyarch. It seems at this time it was only Infinity Ward that was adding the bears. And then we saw it in pretty much every other game after that. In World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, MW3, Call of Duty Ghosts, Advanced Warfare, BO2, BO3, BO4, and Modern Warfare. But talking just in terms of zombies, the first time the bear ever made an appearance was in Verrückt inside of the mystery box. You may be thinking, well, what about Der Toten? There was a mystery box in that map, which is true. However, there was only one location, so the mystery box would never move, meaning you would never get the bear. So the first time we ever saw it was in Verrückt inside of the box. The second time we saw it was on the second DLC, Kino Der Toten, again inside of the mystery box, and then the third time for DLC 3, which was Derice. I would say this is where it really started, because it can be seen in multiple different locations. The standout one is its shadow being projected on a wall outside of the map. There was also a teddy bear holding a Bowie knife on the rooftop, along with another one in a cage holding a bottle of Juggernog and a Colt. So I would say Derice pretty much started this all, and then ever since then it has become a staple in zombies. But to answer your original question, why is the bear in the zombies maps? Well, we've never had an official answer, but generally what the community has always said is whenever we see the bear, it is a representation of Samantha. When she was stuck on the moon inside of the MPD pyramid, the teddy bear down on Earth was a representation of her to show that she was there, she was present. Whenever we roll the bear inside of the mystery box, we always hear Samantha laughing. Whenever we see this bear, we always link it to Samantha, especially this image of her. When she accidentally trapped herself inside of the MPD pyramid, she was holding her teddy. And as I've explained, whenever we see it, in a lot of instances, it is holding some kind of weapon, whether it's a knife or a gun, and looking kind of evil. A lot of the times it has blood splatters all over it. So if I had to give you my answer on what I think it means, it was Samantha's way of showing that she was there even though we couldn't see her. It was to say that originally, back in World at War, Samantha was behind all of this, or at least the zombie outbreak. She was in control. That and the fact that the teddy bear is a big part of COD. The next question from Maverick241100 Gaming says, hey BOE, why in Call of the Dead when George is killed, he respawns 2 or 3 rounds later? Also, love your videos. So an interesting question. You could ask the same for regular zombies, but that is explained. They keep coming back round after round because, well, these were people. If there are 7 billion people on Earth, that's way more zombies than our characters are ever gonna face. But things like, and it's not only George, but I guess you could say Brutus, the Panzer, and other boss type enemies that we have come against, there's not going to be 7 billion of them. In fact, there was only one George. There may have been a few, maybe 10, 20, 30 Panzers. Brutus is explainable because he is trapped in purgatory, trapped in the afterlife. Just like our characters, he is in a cycle, so every time he dies, he is reborn. But what is the explanation for George? There is only one of him. Well, we know every time our Primus and Ultimus characters die, the cycle is reset and they are brought back to life, but this isn't the same because it all happens in one game. So George coming back to life isn't to do with the cycle. I mean, really, he is just a regular zombie. The only difference is, well, we know who he was, and he was a lot taller, wielding a director's light, but he wasn't really a special type of zombie other than being almost impossible to kill. So it's one I really can't answer. Of course, in terms of game mechanics, it makes sense. Kind of like the astronaut on Moon, how that's also one person, and they respawn 3 or 4 rounds later after you kill them. In terms of storyline, I don't think there's an explanation, it's just part of the game. The next question from Noel says, is there a second door knocking in Kino, and who is it? So I know exactly what you mean, and the answer is yes, although some of you may be confused saying, Eli, what do you mean by second door? Well, I think we all know by now, on the Zombies Chronicles version of Kino Der Toten, if you go outside there is a blue door, and when you go up to it you can hear knocking. Someone is on the inside, and this is actually an Easter egg because they will knock at you a certain amount of times in a pattern, and you have to knife the door back in order to continue this Easter egg. This is a pretty famous one, we all know about it, but as you say in your question, there is actually a second door with someone behind it, and there is a lot more to this one. Just inside of the theatre right here, if you go up to it, it will begin knocking. And not only that, there is actually someone locked on the inside talking. It is very difficult to hear because 1, they're whispering, and 2, they're talking to themselves, and 3, I can't actually go into the game files and access this, so since it's so quiet in game, it's really difficult to tell exactly what they're saying, along with the other noises around the map with the zombies as well. So I'm going to play it for you, and then we'll come back and try and make out what they're saying after. So that is the person mumbling behind the door. As to what they're saying is, for my ears at least, almost impossible to work out. However, one little quote that I thought I might have noticed is either Reznov hasn't come back or Russman hasn't come back. It sounds like he could be saying either Reznov or Russman, which it's possible that either names do make sense. Obviously Russman and Reznov are characters involved in our storyline, although you wouldn't necessarily associate Russman with Kino unless the person behind here is linked to Broken Arrow, and we know Reznov had a part to play in Gorod Karovi because we can see a sign from him. Also, the date that our characters got sent to Kino, which was in the 1960s, Reznov played a big role during that time, especially in Black Ops, but again, why he would be mentioning Reznov saying he hasn't come back, if that's what he's saying. If you guys can make out these words, definitely try and transcribe them in the comment section below. But who is it that's locked behind this door? Why are they there? Why are they talking to themselves? And also, if you listen carefully, you can actually hear he is not the only one behind here. There are zombies as well. You can hear groaning and grunting and what sounds like barriers getting ripped off windows, along with the knocking on the inside. So who is this mysterious person? The final question of today from Sullivan Ranvant says, hey BOA, what makes the zombies drawn to the monkey bomb? Now, I think it is the symbols or the music. We know the monkey bomb was created by Dr. Edward Richtofen. The first time we learnt about this was all the way back in Black Ops, in fact, inside of the VBush files. This is a message from Maxis where it says, Ludwig Maxis, personal file, Edward has grown impatient. He insists on accelerating our projects, regardless of the fact that the 115 is limited. He grows angry. Short. It was a mistake to invite him. He cannot be trusted. He watches me. He watches Samantha. He watches Sophia and his latest creation, the monkey. It screams when set aflame. Then again, maybe that is the element 115 affecting my mind. I can no longer discern. When Maxis speaks of the monkey screaming when set aflame, obviously that's referring to the Easter egg in Doris where you throw it inside of the furnace, and as he says, it begins to scream, which is weird because it is a stuffed animal, so how it's screaming, we don't know, unless that is the 115 affecting our minds. But we don't know the exact reason as to why the zombies are attracted to it. The only thing I can think of, it has to be the symbols and the music that plays. There is nothing else, there's nothing. Well, I don't think there's like any zombie nip, like catnip inside. I mean, that I don't know. But I would say it's probably both the symbols and music. As to why that attracts them, we don't know. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.